Welcome back everybody. Righty ho. As per my previous video, can make a start on starting something brand new, but with obviously a few more skills. So let's just get cracking into it. Okay, so really what we need to do is open up a brand new file and locate a few little things. So the assumption is you know nothing about Revit or know little. So let's get into it. Okay, so what I have here is the 2020 version. Okay, so this is fairly hot off the press. It's been around for about 4 months. I've only just started using it, but superficially it looks pretty much like every other version we've used. So, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go into New, okay, which is where I create a new model file. So I'm going to click on that. Okay, and I get my new project window. And what I want, because I do architectural work, okay, is I want to click on that little down arrow there and click on the architectural template. And what I am creating is a new project. Nice and simple. And we're just going to go OK. Okay, it's taking a little while to spool up. Yeah, telling me not responding. There we go. Righty-ho. So, for those unfamiliar with Revit, okay, we have some quick links up here. This is our ribbon, and this basically has all of our various drawing and commands. This is our properties window. Okay, so this tells us whatever we've selected, it tells us what's going on. And down here, this is the project browser. Okay, so that's where we locate all our different views. Down here, down the bottom left, we have our view controls. And in here, these are our drawing spaces, or our drawing space. Okay, and as you can see at the moment, we've got a tab here, okay, and it's just telling me that only one drawing space or drawing view is open, okay, and that's the ground floor. Okay, so what we're going to do is just going to go and we're going to get started fairly quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into here, and these are my floor plans, and I'm going to double click on here where it says site. Okay, so it's a double click. Not much has changed, apart from the fact we see this little icon in here, which I'm not too worried about. Up here, the top of the thing, you'll now see two tabs, ground floor plan and site plan. Okay, so if I don't want to see one of them, I just click on that little button there and gone. Okay, so yeah, nice development from Revit. I believe it was 2019 they introduced that, so it wasn't in any of my other videos. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to insert a Cad file. Okay, as we all know, when we're dealing with building design, it's a really good point to start. Our canvas is the ground that we are building on, so let's start with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go insert, and I'm going to import the Cad file. So I'm going to bring it into the actual file. So I'm going to go left click here, and I'm going to very quickly scroll through everything and find my file here. Okay, do not worry, I'm going to give you a tiny URL so you can download this exact file. Okay, so here I got Revit file, survey file. What I want to do is just where it says colors, I'm just going to make that black and white. I'm going to make my import units millimeters, and my positioning, I'm going to make it, instead of auto origin to origin, I'm going to grab manual center. The idea of that is that I'm going to grab the middle of this CAD file just in case its base point is scattered far and wide. Okay, so then I'm just going to go open, and voila, it's actually worked really well. So as you can see, left hand this is now chasing my cursor. And what I want to do is I'm going to put in the middle of these 1, 2, 3, 4 elevation markers. So I'm just going to plonk it in there, and I'm just going to go left click to drop it down. Okay, I don't have to do anything else, just a left click and it's dropped. Okay, right, now for you, if you want to get access to this file, so I'm just going to start a little text button here. Watch what I'm doing. Okay, 12mm high text. If I click paste, there you go. Okay, so if you go to that link, okay, it will take you to a page similar to this. I'm using MediaFire. You'll see this file here, Revit 1 survey file, and you can download. It's a tiny file, it's not going to take you very long to download, and that's yours to keep. Okay, so, righty-ho. So, I'm just using my mouse to, now my middle mouse button, if I hold it down, I can pan. And if I use my middle mouse button to roll in and out, I can now scroll around a little bit. Okay, right. Now, let's have a look at the survey file. It's a very simple one, but obviously if you're in industry, you'll know that you'll get some quite complex files with a lot more information, and I'm keeping this simple for basic principles. Okay, so I have in here some markers, so 4.8, 5 and 4. Okay, so those are my reduced levels that are made up. Okay, and they are measured in meters. Now, key thing here, again, for those who aren't aware of Revit, Revit works in millimeters if we are in the southern hemisphere or we're in a metric country. Sorry for all those in the US and everywhere else where it's imperial, but you know, I'm working for Australia mainly and New Zealand. Okay, so this is meters because that's what surveyors work with. We're working in millimeters, so we've just got to be aware of that. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to go into my tabs here, float around, and I'm going to go into massing and site. Okay, so this tab has two functions. On the left hand side, mass. Okay, we're not worried about that, forget it's there. On the right hand side, this is our site information. And what I want to do is I just want to create a topo surface. Okay, this is topography. See, if I hover over it, I get a little preview. So I'm going to left click on that. Okay, and I could create from an import, but I'm just going to use my points. Okay, so you'll see a little black dot chasing, a little black square chasing my cursor. Okay, that is an RL point for lack of a better word. So I'm going to start on the left hand side. So here we have 4 meters, 4.00. Zoom in, there it is, 4.00. This is my options bar, and because I'm now actively doing a project or something like that, this has come up and it's telling me, well, these are things that you can do. So what I'm going to do here, I need to convert 4 meters to millimeters. So 400. I'll hit enter. 4 meters, 4,000 millimeters. Now what I can do is I can then hover over that. You'll see a little square emblem thing. That's a snap point. So if I go left click and hit that, that places a point for me. I'm going to do the same again. 4 meters, 4 meters, click. Right. So I'm panning and scrolling. Now these ones here, it says 5 meters. So I come back up to here, I change that information, enter. Okay, so it's now 5,000 millimeters, which equals 5. So I'm going to click there. Okay, 3 points, 1, 2, 3. I can now make a shape. Revit does that for me. Left click there, 5 meters. Okay. Zoom in here, 4.8. 4.8. Again, just changing my elevation there. And left click and left click. It's a relatively simple topo surface. Okay, so once I've got all those points in there, so you'll see how Revit's gone, all these, I'll join those two. Got one plane here and we've got another plane here. Okay, and all we're going to do now is just going to click on this tick here. So when we're in a sketch mode in Revit, we just click on that arrow there. Not an arrow, that tick there. Okay, and that finishes the command. Okay, So I can still see my survey file there. Now if I go into my 3D view, this is my short key for it. Okay, if I left click on that, okay, hold my middle mouse button, shift key and my middle mouse button down at the same time. Okay, I can scroll around and orbit and pan and things like that. Okay, so here we have, okay, the other thing I'm going to do is just highlight this, make it a little bit easier to see. So I'm down here, this is my visual style. So if I click on that, I get a whole bunch of different things. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to choose consistent colors. And what this does, as you can see, is that if there's a solid element, it's going to give it some color, but no shading. So we can see things easier, but it's not too taxing on the computer. Okay, so I can scroll around. We can see our levels. This is a big improvement with Revit by default. So we get to see in 3D how everything relates to each other. Here's our CAD file, and as you can see, it's down on the ground floor. Here's level 1. If I zoom in, that says 4 meters. And remember, we were playing with 4 meters, 5, and up here 4.8. Okay, if I zoom around and have a look, and maybe even use my view cube and go front here. Zoom in a bit. Okay, we will see that toposurface from that angle. There's my 5, there's my 4, and there's my 4.8 meters. Again, just scrolling around. Okay, so back to my site plan. We'll zoom out. I'm just going to leave you with this little link here. Okay, type that up, go to the website. It should take you to this page here. Let me know if it doesn't. Send me a message and I'll see what I can do to fix it up. Okay, have a play around with that, and I will see you for the next video.